Are you curious as to whether or not the Kajabi community is a good fit for you? Well, today in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like inside a Kajabi community. I'm going to show you the member's perspective as well as the admin perspective and what things you can customize and what you can't. And if you stick around to the end of this video, we'll show you exactly how you can jump into our free membership where you can actually click around and see what it's like to be a member of a Kajabi community. You can even make a post and we will comment back to you. All right, let's go check out the community. Here we are inside of our Unstuck Me Club. Now this is the view of a student or a member of the community. So I'll show you the back end of what it looks like as an admin person after, but first let's take a look as a student. So once we get in, you'll see that we first landed on our main feed. Now you have the choice whether or not you want to have it be the feed, which is just all of the most recent posts, or you can set it to be a home page. Now, if you have multiple access groups, you're going to want to probably just keep it as a feed. Otherwise, both access groups are going to see the same homepage, which is kind of awkward if that content doesn't work for both groups. But if it does, then you can definitely set it to like a static homepage that has whatever information you want to put on it. You'll see that we've got the right-hand side has some information depending on which page you're on. This will change. And then the left side is kind of our navigation area. So let's go through that. So we have a custom thumbnail that you can put in. You have a description of the club. You can customize that. And then at the top, just by default, you end up with your feed and your meetups. And that's the same for everybody. You can change the name if you want it to be something else. We just kept it the same as meetups. Now you'll notice that we have the free Unstuck Me Club and then we have the Unstuck Me Club membership. So we have two access groups. This is basically a free group and then all the content for that free group is under here. And then we have a paid group which has all of their content here. So if you have purchased, you will see both of the free and the paid. If you have not purchased, then this paid part basically is gone. You wouldn't see it at all. You would just see the free stuff there. So let's start off by taking a look at the free Unstuck Me Club. So in the in the access group, that's what this area is called. We have multiple different circles. So meetups is automatically there. It's there by default. Then you have the option to add different things. So in this case, we have added a special page. So in this case, we linked it to an offer. So it's showing a checkout page. So this is so you can sell something. And then we have also added just a feed. So feed is just a straight up like forum where you have all different kinds of posts. You can pin the post at the top. You can have a banner and customize. You can put whatever text, whatever you want in here. And then you can have an about section on the side here. And you can do as many circles as you want. I wouldn't do too many though. We recommend to try to keep it under 5 if possible, because people, when you disjoint the conversations too much, people can get lost. But if you don't have enough circles, it can also get confusing if you have too much happening in one. So you kind of got to decide where's the happy medium on that one. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Inside your posts, I'll click on this one. You can see you can do text, you can add images. There's lots of different things you can do in here. We'll just pop up like write a post. So here you can go and type whatever you want. You have styling options, fairly basic stuff for a editor. You have the attachments where you can attach a link if you wish. You can also click this plus button. You can attach a document. You can do a voice note. You can do a link. So if you want to link to like a YouTube video, you can do that here. You can do a poll. So lots of cool little things. And of course, Kajabi is always adding new stuff. So yeah, so that's pretty straightforward. We've got the usual like buttons, comment buttons, all that kind of stuff. And there you can actually customize what the like button says and whatnot. So I'll show you that when we look at the back end. That's the free kind of group that we have here. You'll notice that these icons are pretty generic. You can go and change them. And I'll show you here inside of our membership. So this is our paid membership that we've customized a little bit more. You can see we have some custom icons on the side to just kind of indicate a little bit more as to what those circles are about. Then we also have some more links in here. So you can click on the home page. So this was our original landing page that when people first came into our membership, that this was where they would land, and then we got all the information about the Unstuck Me Club. And then we have some links. You got to sign up for your hot seats. So we've embedded a landing page inside of here. So instead of it going outside of the community and them getting lost, the landing page is added right inside the community. So it looks like it's just part of the community. And then we have, a resources page as well. So any landing page that you can create, you can add it into the community. There's also other things you can add as well, which I'll show you that in just a moment. You'll notice there's also a live button at the bottom here. So if you're planning to just run an impromptu live, as in not scheduled or anything like that, you can, as an admin person, you can go ahead and hit the live button and just basically start a call inside the community. And anybody who is there can join that call. So if there was a live call going on right now, I'd be able to click this button and it would add me into that call and I could participate. For member settings, so what can I change as a member of a community? Well, if you come up here to the member area, you can change your notification settings. This is a great place to make sure that you have what you want as a member. Some people are constantly complaining, oh, there's too many notifications, or oh, there's not enough notifications. Well, Kajabi has made it really simple where you can customize fairly granularly of what you want to have as your notifications. You can do push notifications, which sends a message to your phone, like a pop-up on your phone, or you can have email notifications, or you can just have both or neither. So you have lots of options there. Now for your actual profile, it's fairly straightforward. You can add a picture, you can change your name. If you're going to change your name, it has to be your Kajabi profile name. It's not specific to the community. It pulls from like your actual Kajabi account. So just keep that in mind because some people get a little bit confused in that one. You can add a link. If you wanted to add a link to your website, you can put in some information here. You can write your goals and you can just put in some different things about yourself in here. There's some prompts that you can follow. And then you can see your recent channel activity at the bottom there, which is kind of cool. You have a search bar at the top here if you wanted to look for something specific inside of the community. And I believe it does search all of the access groups. So that's the gist of it. So let's go and jump over into the back end so we can go and look at how to customize a community. Now in the back end of the Kajabi community, it looks very similar, but there's some more options that you can customize in here. So first thing you might notice is there is the edit page button at the top. You can click on that. You can edit the cover photo and the title of that area. In some situations, you can't customize. So feed, you can't change the name. Now you'll notice that on the side here, there's some things that weren't there on the members end. So that's add an offer. So if I wanted to add an offer card on the side and, an upsell for something, a product or whatever, you can do that here. You just click here and you choose your offer here, and it's just going to add the offer onto the side. It's just a quick little CTA button, really easy to do. Now your settings, if you want to go and see more details to customize it, they're up here. There's a couple of dots here. You can open that up and you can go ahead and hit settings. That's going to bring us over here to the settings area. All right, so first thing is the URL for our community. You can customize that. That will change the URL of your community. So just be aware of that. You can add social links. You can create some community guidelines that they have to accept when they come into the community. We also have some customization for the members' names. So if you want to call it a member, you can give them whatever name you want. You can customize that there, which is really nice. Email notifications. So this is notifications for everybody. Now, as I showed you in the previous segment where members can customize their own notifications, that will override whatever you put here. So this just allows notifications for in general of what's happening from your perspective as an admin person. So there's a little bit more details here for you to go through, but it's going to send out notifications based on what you want it to. And there's a lot of things that you can notify people about. So this is like the automation part of the community that I really like. So you don't need to set up email reminders. They're all there for all your meetups and stuff. Same with the live room when it starts. You can have it where everybody gets notified or not, right? You can just choose that kind of thing. So lots of settings to go through there. You also have the ability to customize what your emails look like. So you can actually put your own logo on there, which is nice. Change your brand colors in there. You're going to put your marketing info on there as well, which is kind of legal. You need to have a address for marketing. And then you have hyperlinks that you can also include in those emails, which is nice. So we've got that set up there. Now we've got gamification. This is a relatively newer feature in the community area. We have not set this up yet. We don't have any gamification as of today in our club, but basically you have the ability to grant points for different actions that happen within your community. So I'm not going to go through this in super detail, but basically you can decide how many points they get for doing certain things. You can decide on a name of what you would reward them with. You can decide what exactly do they need to do. So are they going to, get rewarded based on their commenting? Are they going to get rewarded based on the fact that they purchased something? So let's say, for example, in our community, if we wanted our members that are part of the membership and not part of the free community, so they're paid members, if we wanted to call them VIPs, we could go ahead and name them VIP, and we can click on purchase here and say, hey, there are a member of the Unstuck Me Club membership. We're going to call them VIPs. So then they get that label inside the community. So you can kind of highlight whatever you want for your members. So there's a ton of different options here, as you can see, of what you could delegate different, rewards for, so different prizes for. So that's pretty cool. Then we have the customization. This is like the general customization. You can set where do you want your people to land when they come in for the first time and every time thereafter. In our case, the feed is the most logical place. You can set some branding here. These are kind of like basic colors, but you can also customize, put your own brand color in as well, which is really nice. You can see what things look like in dark mode now, because community does work in dark mode, which I love personally. And then you can flip between the two of those. Then you can go and look at all of these different things in here. So you can decide, what do you want to call each of these pieces a part of Kajabi. So they don't lock you into what things are called. They give you default names and you can go and change them if you want. Now you have the option to allow people to direct message the founder. So the person who owns the Kajabi account, you can hide that from here and not allow people to message them. And you can also hide the member directory so people can't see who is in the directory. And you can also hide the founder's profile if you like. Here's where you can change the names of each of these different emoji kind of reactions. You can customize them, have them say whatever you want them to be. And there's a preview of that. Challenges, we don't have any set up in ours, but those are pretty straightforward. You can set up as many as you want, have a time limit on them, and you can reward points and stuff for each of the challenges. Meetups, this is where all of the previous meetups are. All of the ones are recorded. You can access them all in here. You can create a new meetup if you wish. And under channels, this is basically your access group. So we have our 2 different access groups, and then you can create a new channel, or also called a circle in Kajabi. So you can update those and change the names and stuff in there. Announcements, you can create a new announcement that will go, it'll send an email out, and if you have that option turned on, and it will also post that announcement inside of the circle or on the main feed, depending on where you want to put it. The announcements will always show from the owner of the account. So if I'm an admin and I go and post an announcement here, it's going to show that Malva posted. It's one of those really annoying pieces that when you have multiple people admitting or moderating your account and you want the announcements to come from them, unfortunately, it doesn't. And we've addressed this with Kajabi, but they haven't made that change just yet. So that's the main part of all of the customizations. Now, if you look down on your sidebar here, what you'll notice is that when you hover over, you'll see some settings for each of these. You can click on them and you can edit the settings. Now, if you want to add a custom link, you can do that by clicking on these dots up here at the top of the name. You can hit create new. You can do your announcements, your challenge. A new chat is basically a new page that is, it looks like a DM, but it's a chat with everybody in the entire group. So it's just like message after message after message. It's a little bit hard to follow. I don't recommend it unless you have a very specific purpose for it. Most people are going to want to use a feed because then it's a post and then you comment on that post and it keeps things a little more organized. Event, you can create one of those. And one of the best features that I love is the custom page. Here is where you can embed a product, an offer, website, landing page, blog, or a form, which is pretty cool. We had embedded the customer or the checkout page here to promote the membership, but you can also import your, not import, but you can link to your course. So instead of this popping up as an offer, imagine this is my actual course in the community where I don't even have to go to a separate tab. I can actually, navigate the course right directly in here. That's pretty awesome. Then we have other options in here that you can just create new ones, and you can also customize them as well. Same thing, doesn't matter which circle you're in, you can just click through them. Now you can move these around, these groups around if you wish. However, they don't allow you to move meetups out of in the different orders. So it's a little bit restrictive, but really not that bad. Now, there is one issue that we definitely have seen as members of the Kajabi community and trying to figure out, all of the great features that they have in here. One big issue that we noticed is if somebody, let's say, for example, they're in the strategy Q&A area here and they make a post and then they ask about something to do with Kajabi tech. So it has nothing to do with strategy, but they posted it in this circle here. The downside is that we can't move it. Unfortunately, there's no ability to click on that post and say, hey, move it over to the show me how section. It is either delete it or leave it, which kind of sucks because as moderators, especially if you have a really big and busy community, you want to keep things in the right place and you don't necessarily want to delete their post because that doesn't give them a really good feeling. But you also don't really want it to stay in the wrong circle. So that's a bit of a downside. Hopefully Kajabi will work on that fix soon. Another downside has to do with the offers on the side. So for example, when you're in the feed area here, we talked about how you can add an offer. The feed is the only area where you're going to actually see that offer. When you navigate into the different rooms, you'll notice that that's now gone. You don't have that offer showing up. So the only place they're ever going to see it is when they first come in and on the feed area. So that's a bit of a downside. It would have been nice if it could be on multiple circles, so it's kind of there all the time. The way that we get around that, though, is just putting it as a custom link on the side here. Then you can see it all the time. You don't necessarily see the nice logo or the nice thumbnail to grab your attention, but at least it's still there and visible. So just to show you a little bit about what the posts kind of look like in any of the feeds. So here's our Kajabi updates feed. You can see we've got the banner there. Now, depending on how you put your link into the post, it may come out with no thumbnail like this, which in some cases you might want. And then in other cases, it's going to show the full thumbnail here. So we can hit show more. And you can see the full post. You'll see we have some customization abilities. We have the tag about everyone, or you can tag a certain member if you wish. We have the ability to do H1 and H2 titles, so we can make them stand out if we wish. And we also have the ability to do polls, which you can see down here. There's a nice group of polls down here that you can do with your members, which is kind of cool. And it's nice. They have nice big graphics, easy to see. If you put in multiple graphics, they'll come side by side like this. So it's pretty nice. You've got lots of ability to customize the post and make it so it's nice and easy to read and to follow for your members. If you want to see what it's like to be inside an actual Kajabi community, you are more than welcome to join us in the free Unstuck Me Club. We've put a link for that in the description below. When you join, which all you need is a name and an email to join. You do not need to give us your credit card. You can jump in there and you can ask us any questions you have about the community or even just about anything to do with Kajabi tech in general. We hope to see you in there, and if not, I'll catch you in the next video.